It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. She off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk true to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Blessing. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará yìí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Lórí Facebook.
Good evening to you, good morning to you, and good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today. I do apologize for this, technical glitch that caused a bit of a late start. But I'll make it up to you. It's going to be worth it, especially for every one of you who actually stayed back. So share this broadcast, okay? Invite those that should be here, and even those that probably must be here. By the way, you should drop your offering too. Like the broadcast, share it, and then we'll get started.
Yes, Raki.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn Raki.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn Raki.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn Raki.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Just for the sake of those that probably will think that this image or the purpose for this image that you are seeing on your screen is to mock old age. Nobody can, cheat nature, okay? And when you are old and unwell, you get what I mean? There is what is called take a rest. Taking a rest means that you would never have to subject yourself to this kind of a torture, all for power. Now, that's exactly why this image is very much important. Don't think that we don't know that one can get very tired. Do you understand? Fatigue and all that stuff. But as for Kolu, Adon in Yoruba, Bati in Oyinbo, they say they know they sleep. Even one of the clowns who have become what do you call it? Who have become the ass licker, who returned from the UK to be their youth leader in Nigeria, APC. Egbekegbe, he once told us this, in case if you have forgotten.
Hey guys, so this is like 12:30 in the morning, and I'm with Daddy. Actually, while I met Tinubu at home, I told you that Daddy doesn't sleep until like 4 a.m. in the morning, and this is like past 12, and he's still not even feeling sleepy at all. Daddy, thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you. But others are very much so suspicious of that guy behind him, and why this seems to be going to be a disaster in waiting. However, this picture was taken at an event called the peace meeting. Peace meeting among the presidential candidates in the next month election. So, Kolu was there, Sowore was there, Kwakwazo wasn't. He sent his own deputy, who happened to be a miracle pastor, by the way. You know those pastors that was be like, and everybody would just fall away. That's Kwakwanso's vice president. He was there. But the drama that happened there yesterday was not really detailed, was not reported in detail by myself until I laid my hand on this clip. And in fact, one of the things we missed out yesterday, when Sowore was like being Sowore, you get, telling them to their faces, all of you, I'm not afraid of you. Do you get that? So that was the moment they took that picture. Kolu was gone. Otilo, it wasn't there. But there are many things that happened. However, the man who is the chairman, okay, is it the chairman, Abdusalami Abubakar, the crooked crook that cooked the 1999 fake constitution that has kept Nigeria divided, underdeveloped, and one of the most corrupt, if not the most corrupt. So, Abubakar was there, Abdusalami, and that was the moment Sowore told him to his face, all this nonsense you guys are doing here, that's not how he said it too. So don't think that's how. I'm going to show you the video. All this nonsense that all of you are just doing here, let me tell you something. If Nigeria was to be a real country, you guys, I'll come for you guys. What does that mean? For all your crimes. Abdusalami Abubakar picked that and he was like, okay, hang on. You are talking about what happened over 20 years ago. He said, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I was like, well, if you become the president of Nigeria, some of us will have to run away from Nigeria forever because they are criminals. And they know. Saying it to their faces, like Sowore said in Ibadan. He said, once you are dead, you are gone. But before that time, you probably could take your chances and say what other mortals are so afraid to say when they are licking their asses, calling to them, trying to take pictures and be part of them. And that moment was when Sowore was very much Soworeing. Sowore, who took that stage, forced the dictator that handed over to Obasanjo in 1999 to actually say, well, if somebody like you become the president of Nigeria, you would have to run away, which is true. So they will never make him or allow him to be your president. However, before I get to take you down, to take you down to Abuja and what happened, Kolu and others, there are many things I'm going to share with you tonight, okay? Just like I said, I'll make it up to you for that delay. But I've got I've got two news, one good, one bad. Which one do you think I should probably share first? The good news or the bad one? Okay, fine. What we're going to do is that let's go with the bad one first, which is really sad. Few days ago, or should I say about a week ago, the news broke that Fulani terrorists, right, they attacked a train station in Egoben in Edo State, and they kidnapped 32 people. A day or two after that, the government and the police and the rest, they said no, they were not 32, they were 20. So what happened to them? Oh, we are trying to rescue them. So few days after that, or should I say just a day after that, one member of our platform here, Idris, publicly told us that his own sister was among the victims kidnapped. You heard that on this platform, didn't you? So we all felt bad. Then, behind the scene, I was in touch. I was keeping in touch, checking. How is it? How is it going? And it was really bad. Then he broke the news just a few days ago that they have paid the ransom that they demanded from 30 million down to 5 million naira or so. But it cost them everything in the whole family. It shook them right to their foundation. Well, we are glad that your sister is back. Let's just see to our own health and recovery. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, in Nigeria, their media was reporting that the 20 victims have been rescued by Nigeria police. That is not true. They paid ransom to free their individual family members. Now, that's not even the worst. Here is the worst. As you are listening to this video today, the same sister of Idris that was kidnapped, paid ransom, freed, she came back with a life-threatening injury, internal bleeding, due to the torture of trying to force the family to pay up in time. By the time they paid up, she was already bleeding inside. She died yesterday. I mean, she was buried yesterday. I saw the pictures. But according to Idris, the family would just love the privacy. I don't really have to share much more than that. But I saw the pictures, I saw the burial and all of that. And that is one victim of one Nigeria that I've been talking about. Now you can ask yourself, who is going to be the next person? But you know the most unfortunate thing that followed it? Their media. Guess what they are now reporting? Oh, they have discovered that some royal fathers, some local traditional rulers in Edo State, they have, listen to this quack mad people, in order to ensure that the victims ended up being blamed. Listen to this content. They said that Nigerian police have now arrested the people behind the kidnapping in Edo State. Guess who they are? They are not Fulanis. Listen to this. Oh, they are the local leaders in the area. They are those, again, they said they are those who facilitated, the people who are suspected Fulani others, but they are kidnappers. Let me rephrase. The people who are behind the kidnapping of people in Edo State, according to their media, they are not Fulanis. First line. Second paragraph, the people behind this kidnapping are local people in Edo who allowed those who are suspected Fulani suspected, they didn't even put Fulani, they said suspected as men. How did they do it? They said the local leaders, they paid the youth of that community 20,000 naira in order to look away for the suspected artsmen to gain access to their area in order to be kidnapping people. That's what their media said. But you know what they have done? Deviate from the real people who committed the crime. Idris, who witnessed the whole thing in their family, confirmed the people who they spoke with, the people who collected ransom from them. But the media in Nigeria, on social media, everywhere, they are twisting it now. They are turning it. So, I'm sorry, that's the first bad news. And if you won't mind, this may this may sound like forever. Are you with me? I won't mind us just keeping just a minute silent. That this actually now hit home. It happened to one of us. So who is next? Just a minute. May our soul rest in peace, and then may the perpetrators meet their Waterloo, which would then serve as justice, right? And may the family be able to, actually like live or recover from this kind of a trauma. If it's not you, you can't understand. However, Idris, our condolences to your family from here in the Temple of Truth. Now, the good news is that our back to school project is indeed now fully on track. Our target of printing out 50,000 copies of school exercise books for the school-aged children in Yoruba land, where we intend to target 6,000 of them across Yoruba land as our own way of contributing so little. It's very, very much, out of sincerity, as you can see. So we would be going ahead with that. But yesterday, I got one very good boost from one member of our education team. The people who are actually behind this, discussing the the pattern, the design, and then everything behind this whole project. One of them, a very, very wonderful woman, Alaja Idera. She came through for us, even though I told you that we were still very much in a bit short, even though, we are running out of time. But she came through by, donating ₦1 million towards this project. So as we speak today, we have been able to mobilize the printers, right? We are going to print all of this. And then we expect them to be ready before the end of this coming week. Now, that's the plan. And then afterward, we are going to set, ball rolling. And you will have to witness what we plan to do, what we have been talking about all this while. We are still very much grateful to everybody who has been like chipping in every penny, appreciated. From the bank, I personally have received £125, right, from 2 people as well, which is also in the bank. And we've also received, I received, I think about £90 or so from a donor from the US. So thank you. All this eventually are getting us closer and closer and closer to what we want to do. Also, I did tell you, right? The 2 members of our own, one of them, which is in charge of our diaspora, logistics and then procurement, Yomi Totu. So Yomi Totu and another prominent member of our own planning team behind the scene, I will just call him Olowo. These two, nationalists, these two prominent guys, they came together, right? And they have also donated 15, 15 projectors, including projector screens, which actually each of them is worth 100,000 naira. These are going to be delivered to our team in Nigeria in these coming days. So all of these are the signs of the positivity of coming together, the idea of coming together and build something that can actually stand the test of time. I am very proud of us. Sincerely, I am. And so today we paid out, like I said, mobilizing the printers. So we have paid out 6 million naira already. So hoping to balance them up in another few days if they deliver to us right on time. So we have no problem with money anymore. Okay. So we are still kind of left with a little bit of a shortfall, but that's not a problem of money. We can always make that up before the day of, living. So yeah, that's good news. I think I should say before I get so deeper into this conversation tonight. So yeah, thank you very much for your time. However, I think we should just go to Abuja, where this happened, and it's been the talk of the social media everywhere since yesterday. Sowore, right, was one of those invited, like I said, and he did have to make a statement. So, but I think we should first hear from the organizers, Abdusalami Abubakar. Maybe you should listen to this.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
It happened at the ICC, sir. The vice president of the APC sat in front of me because their presidential candidates did not come. It's not acceptable.
All right. I have heard you. For the purpose of this meeting, we have taken note of your observation. However, I will still beg you, let's go on with the meeting. I have taken note of your observation, and I'm going to see what can be done in the next meeting. If, however, you are not satisfied, if you want to leave, please, you can leave. I have noted your observation.
Now, talking about that observation, before that long speech, what was Sowore's observation that caused the real cause, right? This is it.
My name is Sowore. I'm the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, and I'm going to be the president of Nigeria come after February 2023. So you all better be careful. I want to say here, and it's very important to me, that I observed one of the most peaceful elections in Nigeria in 1993. And we allowed that election to stand. We will not be signing a peace agreement today. Because that you are signing a peace agreement in Nigeria shows that elections have become war in Nigeria. This is the only country in the world where you sign a peace agreement during an election season as if we are at war. But that is what our elders did to Nigeria. And I think next time we should sign a peace agreement with the elders who are instigating violence in this country, or have them sign peace agreements between themselves. Because peace is not breached by poor people. Poor people suffer the consequences of violence. When you look at elections, the people that suffer the most are those poor women and men. And when there's a breakdown in law and order in Nigeria, every rich man, politically connected, gets enough police protection, and they're able to get on the jet and leave Nigeria at the slightest provocation. This is where we are. And I should also say that some of the people that instigators of violence during the election are not in this hall. They are the vassal representatives of some of the men and women in this hall. There are state governors, in particular, you need to get them to sign the peace accord. There are some of them as the most violent and virulent people in Nigeria. They demonstrated it in Kogi State. A woman was burnt alive in her house. Until today, the killers of those women, or that woman, have not been fished out in Nigeria. In Kano, there is someone campaigning that if they don't win the election, they will kill everybody in Kano. In Borno State, it's the same thing. You go to Lagos, where the APC holds sway, you cannot paste a poster if it's not Bola Ahmed Asiwaju's poster in Lagos. I just came back from Lagos. They have a team that tears anybody's poster that is not their candidate's poster. You cannot even pay for your poster or banner to be hosted in Lagos. They have a bureaucracy in place that makes it impossible for you to do. How can there be peace in a country where there's no justice? We keep lying to ourselves all the time. I also want to say that for the rest of us, as you have treated us today, because we don't have resources and we don't have powerful connections, we don't have access to state resources. Most of the other candidates use and abuse state resources. They have governors who just dip their hands into their state treasury and use them to fund their candidate activities, and nobody is challenging them. Once in a while, when they want to tickle our fancy, the EFCC comes around to play at the playground of the political parties. Two political parties are particularly very notorious for this. They buy votes, both at their primaries and in the final election. And how do you compete with these people? If elections are supposed to be about justice and bringing about great leadership and bringing about peace and development, how could great people win elections in a country where terrible people control all the resources of your country? That's another issue for another day. The other part is the media. And I should say this because I'm a media practitioner too, that they have shut several of us out. Also, I will accuse the media of Asiwaju. They have never interviewed me in this election. That is the TVC News. They have blacklisted some of us, but they are supposed to be a public media that should address, that should attend to everybody. And the last thing I will say are security agencies. Just like someone mentioned, the security agencies have allegiance and loyalty to just a few people. That's the truth. I was almost run out of the road in Ibadan just yesterday because Atiku was in Ibadan to campaign. I was also there to campaign, but I had one car. Atiku had over 40. And I had no police. Atiku had over 500 policemen attached to him. I sent a letter to the police today to provide me police protection. I'm going to Benue tomorrow. They said I should drop the thing on Monday. How do I get police on Monday when I'm going to Benue tomorrow? I submitted to my friend who represented the IG. I will just say finally that nobody should lose hope in this hall, especially those of us who are the receiving end of the injustices in this country. One day, the table will turn. Thank you very much. I'm the presidential.
That's Sowore. That's the speech. And, oh, I'm so sorry, the camera have started, right? You know what I'm going to do? Let's just go straight to Abdusalami Abubakar's response before we continue. I'll fix it.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
It happened at the ICC, sir. The vice president of the APC sat in front of me because their presidential candidate will not come. It's not acceptable.
All right. I have heard you. For the purpose of this meeting, we have taken note of your observation. However, I will still beg you, let's go on with the meeting. I have taken note of your observation, and I'm going to see what can be done in the next meeting. If, however, you are not satisfied, if you want to leave, please, you can leave. I have noted your observation and will make amends for the next time. Thank you.
If you give us assurance that that let's sign the memo. Give us assurance that it will not happen at this signing, and we'll sit down. But if there's no assurance, I will not.
He's giving you assurance.
Settle down. I have taken note of his observation, and as much as possible, we'll try to make amends. We are not being partisan in this issue, regardless of the mistakes that has been made. It is not intentional that we are promoting any candidate or any political party. We have taken note, and I have taken responsibility of what has happened, and I want to assure you we'll look into the issues. Having said that, Your Excellencies, I welcome you to this brief interactive session with the presidential aspirants, civil society, INEC, and the media. The purpose of this initiative by the Peace Committee is to build up the confidence of our people in the electoral process and to ensure that we do all that is possible to ensure that these very crucial elections are successful. Our intention is to hear from the presidential aspirants themselves and see how we can rally all our people to ensure that all citizens are able to elect the leaders of their choice. It is impossible to have all contestants into one room, and so we hope that whatever we discuss here affects all contestants in these elections. Your Excellencies, you may recall that on the 29th of September 2022, that is last year, we invited all of you for the signing of the Peace Accord at the International Conference Center, Abuja. You may also recall that we placed advertisements in all major newspapers and the social media calling all presidential candidates to be mindful of the concerns of Nigerians on such issues as the need to use temperate language, avoiding raising the tone of violence, and to conduct themselves in a manner that does not undermine the electoral process. Let me thank all of you for attending that meeting and signing the Memoranda of Understanding. We have deliberately widened the scope of this consultation so that we can improve the quality of our listening to the concerns of our people. We are not here to listen to accusations and counter-accusations. We are not here to trade blames, but to raise issues and concerns so that we can explore the best means of resolving these concerns. I appeal to all of you to be moderate in your language, show respect to the views and concerns of one another, and listen to the concerns expressed. We are not here to find out who is wrong, but what is wrong, and to see how to correct it. I want to appeal to all Nigerians to appreciate the seriousness and the significance of these elections. We have gone through many difficulties and survived them. We are pleased that there are measurable improvements and that INEC is assuring us that it has resolved some of the areas that have often caused violence. Also, the security agencies have also continued to give us assurances. Our hope is that you can raise your areas of concerns and let us see what can be done to instill confidence in this process. Finally, we appreciate the work of all the agencies involved in our elections. I want to commend the media, the civil society, for
And the blah, and the blah, 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 blue. So, talking about Bala, blue, Bala. Kolu. It was in Jigawa today. And the news that came in was then was that the Labour Party members have decamped to APC, Egbekegbe. I'm coming back to that. There is, where is that again? Yeah. I was telling you something about the APC. Sorry, Kwakwanso's running mate or vice president, a pastor. This is him. Where, he met with Kolu at the peace meeting. So you see that old man is the man who wrote the fake 1999 constitution that protects criminals and punishes anyone who tried to stand up against them or what have you. So Sowore saw that chance and he was able to tell them everything, all articulately, yeah? Now, they don't give a damn about anybody. It's just a sort of a mock process. But there's something that was said. You are signing peace deal where you are not at war. You want to do election, but you have to sign peace deal. Peace for what? It is just a show off, a charade, absolute insignificant, right? Anyway, I'm going to take you to Jigawa. But before I do, that man is talking about election confidence. One of the things that gives, especially the Obidients, what is giving them that confidence, that courage, that belief that if they keep going and going, they could actually do the unthinkable. They could do the undoable. They could make history. They are relying on a machine called BVAS. Now, you see this machine, according to INEC, they have procured them. This machine doesn't need internet. It doesn't need electricity. It is charged, all right? And it can collate the votes, the election votes, tally the results, and transfer it into the INEC main server, which means the result can be altered, except if it is altered by the INEC National. Something that gives them a confidence that all of these KKK votes, the 3 Kardashian votes from the northern Nigeria, they are obedient. They will submerge it, right? But here is something. Just before the end of last year, right? What do you call it? Your election voters register in Nigeria says you have about 93 million of you registered, Abi. However, in Imo State alone, they discovered fake voters that they planted or sort of injected into that same 93 million, total voters in Nigeria. INEC was supposed to use their machine to sieve out fake registration, Abi, because you need to thumbprint biometrically. One person can register twice, but that's a lie. Now, somebody discovered that they have killed that person's uncle, burned his country home for taking them up on that fraud. And that guy said, that's just Imo State. He discovered that same fraud in more than 23 states, most of them APC, Egbekegbe's control states. So INEC said, when you register, they will publish their names, okay? If you don't see your name, you can go and correct it. If they spell your name wrong, you can go and correct and all of that stuff, right? And at the same time, if there are people who register there, 2 times, multiple registration, their own system, software is going to weed them out and clean it out. That's the first, process of, what do you call it? Fraud that is going to fraud your next year month election if they hold it to. So when they did all of that, all those underage voters, see, multiple registration, fake registration, all of them, they still remain in that register. Injected by the crooked criminal politicians in Nigeria, across Nigeria. That's the first fraud, Abi. Now, in order to make sure that nothing happened to all those things that they have injected successfully, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions across Nigeria, fake names, fake registration. Somehow, the Obidients that suddenly surge and interested in the election, right? They themselves, they have been verified to have more than 26 million vote that are like valid voters that are readily for grab only by them. No joke. Right? Now, here is the problem. After INEC published all of this, Imo State government, Oples Uzodingba, that is the Supreme Court governor of Imo State, he went to court. I don't know if many of you probably know that last year. And what did he go to court for? They said all those multiple registration that INEC, even they still went on to print their cards, fake cards, right? They said the beavers is going to detect them. That's what they are saying. Say it will detect them and they will become invalid on you. They will not be useful. So because of this, Imo State Supreme Court governor went to court to stop INEC from using that beavers in your election. Somehow, that has been dragging on. But why that is dragging on, Nigeria Senate, the Nigerian senators, they are deliberating on one thing. Guess what that is? Your beavers in the next month election, right? They are voting on it to stop INEC from using it. So that the Boloji, that APC, Egbekegbe, people destroying people and the rest of them are banking on, they will eventually come to be, and INEC will count them, even though they are telling you that they won't. Now, look at this screen. If you see anybody that is somebody you know from your zone, before they will say, Northern Nigeria is against it. Now, let me give you the background. The court case to stop INEC from using that machine, right? They were saying, initially they said, not everywhere in Nigeria have internet coverage. They said, okay, if that's your worry, it doesn't need any internet. How can it transfer something when it doesn't have internet? Don't worry about that. It doesn't need internet. What about electricity to charge it? What if it dies? No, it doesn't need electricity to charge. It comes with its own battery that would last for more than 48 hours. No, we can't use it. No. Let's just cancel it. Now, they are debating it in your National Assembly, your senators. Like I said, see this screen. Those who have now voted against the use of it. See this? And you can see that they said the handiwork of how to stop this is not coming from it's coming from no other people than Tinubu and gang. They initiated the court case, and then, right, they also mobilizing their members in the National Assembly to make sure that at the end of the day, it won't be used. I'm just saying this to some of you who are actually banking on a system that is so fraught with fraud. Now, those are the people who vote. There are 109 senators in Nigeria. Senate president minus Senate president will be 108. Now, these are the people that would not want your INEC to use your BVAS machine. I'm talking about the drama in the political front. Wala don't happen. After the Atiku store of Southwest Nigeria, you know that before now, you have been hearing about the G5, where a wiki and his team here and there, saying that Atiku, they go anywhere. And they are going to announce their candidate in January. January is almost gone now. where a Wike and his G5, they are no longer reigning. Sure, you get now. They are no longer like the talk of the town anymore, because it's like the shine is completely going off them now. That if they come up tomorrow and say we are endorsing this person, that's the person we want to vote for, it won't really be so kind of, you know what I mean, like something so strong anymore. But they showed Atifku. Atifku went to Ekiti. When he got to Ekiti, the likes of Fayoshe, who are like supposed to be members of his campaign, PCC, Presidential Campaign Council. About the Joju Atiku, for those who understand Yoruba, then chop Atiku high. But still, so far the money was paid. They still did some mobilization, but Atiku knew then that it was just there for just a show. Otilo again. He got to Abeokuta. Baba, they won't lynch Atiku and his people. Sure, you get that's the one that Omoyele Sowore mentioned earlier. They won't lynch him. Stone them, pure water them, drag them everywhere. You know, that they had to shoot their way out of Abeokuta. And when they got to Ibadan, where Seyi Makinde happened to be one of the G5 as well, it was the same cold reception from the people that are supposed to really, but the members of PDP, they are like, no, if you pay us, we'll do the job, we'll mobilize our people. We are not part of G5. And that has been the problem in the entire Southwest. But you know what happened there? Atifku can actually see that things are not actually as expected anymore. Here you get. There seems to be no way anymore when it comes to, especially when it comes to those people from the Southwest. Somehow, the people from the southern Nigeria, he can tell they are lying to him. So from nowhere, they just announced they sack everybody. We did Kitty, we did everywhere. You see, suspend them. Starting from Shimaroke Unamani, they said anti-party. Anti-party. You know what anti-party means, right? When people begin to support other people, another candidate, different from their own party. And they are doing so publicly, without any remorse or shame. Shame you get. Because it is about interest, they say. Yeah? No permanent friend, no permanent enemy. Only permanent interest. But Baba, in your life, have you ever asked them whose interest are they talking about? Is it their own interest or your own interest? So publicly, Unamani, the former governor of Enugu, a thief that stole over 100 billion naira from Enugu State, a complete criminal that has managed, right, after looting and depleting Enugu State for 8 solid years, which is able no, poverty, empowerment scheme, scam. He ended up in the National Assembly and he's been a senator since then. A criminal that is also wanted in America, by the way. That's something I don't know if you know. But suddenly he found his friend, his colleague, Tinubu, very much interesting than Atifku. And he publicly started talking about how Tinubu is good, Tinubu is this or more, to the point that it became so much of a joke, right? Now, Atifku, after returning back to Abuja, before going back to where he came from, Dubai, he decided that all these people have to be suspended for anti-party activities. But that's actually not the news, okay? These people, Unamani, Shimaroke, Unamani, who else again? Ekiti State, Ayeni Funsho, Ajibola Latif, Oladimeji, others are Miola Adenike, Jennifer, Ajayi Babatunde Samuel, Olayinka James Olalere, Akerele Oluyinka, Fayoshe, Oluwajomiloju, John. I think that one is Fayoshe's brother that is supporting Obi. And they are like, you know what I mean? So now this is Atifku's firing back. And you know what people are saying? There's no matter, Jare. Atifku himself don't short say, Omo Gbagbe Southwest Jare. You remember the time they were saying that Peter Obi is coming to come and divide Atifku's votes. Then the story changed. That even if he's going to actually, he will never get up to 100,000 votes. Then the story changed again, right? They said even if he's going to like challenge Ashiwa, they said this election is between Ashiwaju Awole and Obi. Narratives have changed many times. You know, I'm somebody who followed the whole thing anyway, so I keep track. As things are changing, the people are reacting to them. Until today, people are now saying that it be like Atiku no even day. Like everywhere they see Atiku, they just feel like, well, it's got some money to spend. So, and that's Atiku's reaction to his visit to southern Nigeria. And immediately after that, he announced, he said, I have concluded all my campaign in southwest Nigeria. When Tinubu is launching his campaign, almost every day. Tomorrow now or next day, you're going to see another, we are launching Tinubu's presidential campaign in Lagos. Who are those? Oh, the Agberos from Obalende. They are the ones who are doing their own now. Because they need that validation every now and then. Sure you get. Atiku has closed that side. And, I don't know how many of them who actually got this, okay? There is another one. Where is that? Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that one. Let's go straight to Jigawa. Okay, Jigawa is where Kolu got hosted today. After Jigawa, I wouldn't mind taking you to Mina, where Atiku and others, they actually felt at home. I'll take you there too. Tell you one or two things, okay? Then I'm also going to take you to Southern Kaduna. Now, listen to this. Southern Kaduna, for the first time, is in the news, not because of a Fulani massacre or Fulani genocide or the killings of innocent people there. For the first time, it is because the Obidients in Southern Kaduna, they got their own, they got their own day with Obi after his campaign in Kaduna few days ago. Now, for the first time, according to those who are there, me, I'm not from Kafansha. Kafansha in Southern Kaduna is where they all agree to meet. Baba, if they are still telling you that Obi is nothing, they are lying to you, and I'm here to tell you, and I'll show you. Sure you get. And tonight, I'm also going to tell you a bit, or give you a bit of a reminder. Who made this Obi popular now? We know about the youth, the young people, smart, and all of them who are really very much hungry with the system. We know about those ones. We know about Obasanjo's back end, behind the scene, workaholic, building all this or that for Obi. We know all about that. Yeah? But I have figured out that the people that actually made Obi a force today are no other people than PDP and APC. They are candidates, they are vuvuzelas, they are all-risers. Because every day, the moment they said Obi said he wants to be president like this, where he came from became an issue. Yes, he's an Igbo man from Eastern Nigeria. How dare he? How many are they? So every day, they continue to what? To try to tell us and tell everybody that this is absolute joke. Now, to make it worse, this is true too. We're expecting that, they don't declare, make them bring the dirty out. We knew that they will bring all the dirty about Atiku out, the dirty about Tinubu. We knew that they want to be president. Maybe for the first time, this guy, where they talk, say, go and verify, okay, she can don't go to an open field now. Let's see how he's going to then be able to hide. Baba, what we started getting are just vile, hateful, fake news, divisive things against Obi, to the point that some of them became so blinded with this hate, that they can't see their own brothers around them that are already shouting this Obi as well. They can't see them, and they started saying that Obi and Obidients, they are just Igbos from one part of the country. So 8 months after that, 8 months ago, Obi left people destroying people, a big one. And people said, that's it. This is now a joke, taken too far. It's done for, it's over. Sure you get. Then he joined Labour Party. Dele Momodu came out and said, this is absolute joke. So I don't know if some of you remember that. He said, this is absolute joke. That he was the presidential candidate of Labour Party. And he can tell the whole world the problems that Obi is going to face. All of this are on record though. But Baba, right before your eyes, my eyes, and all of us here, without pretending, they told us that the whole thing will die down before the end of December because nobody will touch him in northern Nigeria. Today, Baba, story to change you. I don't mean you don't need to change your mind, okay? But me, I am here to show you how this is going to go. Even the establishment, they are worried. Let me give you one instance before I go to Jigawa, where Labour Party supposed, listen to this. It got to a stage that Kolu said, I can't even say his name. It's so insulting for me to even say the other one. I can't even say his name. From I can't even say his name, it's an insult that one is even saying you want to be president. To shouting his name, Obi, why now, Obi, you cannot do it. Obi, why? To the point that everyone in Tinubu's camp, every day, right? They just have to remind people that Obi is a threat to them. You don't have to admit to me, Mayegun, you are not here, Baba. I am everywhere. Now you just somehow, probably haven't really seen what is happening around you yet. Nobody will touch him in northern Nigeria. We all know all that. Meanwhile, Mayegun came here and said, because of the divided Nigeria, where people see themselves not as Nigerians, but where you come from or religion you follow. And why? Because on record, right? Very much on record, right? The northern Nigeria and the political class in northern Nigeria have never failed to use or play that political and tribal card every election. And it's been always working. So to them, well, who is Obi? Nobody even know anything about Obi in northern Nigeria. Papa Nalayo, thank God for social media.